More India and France have hit refresh on their relationship, upgrading ties to a special global strategic partnership. This is a clear signal that Paris and New Delhi are locking in for the long haul across defense, technology, and global innovation. To keep the engine running, the two countries will now hold an annual foreign ministers' dialogue to track progress under the Horizon 2047 roadmap. 2026 will be the India-France Year of Innovation, powered by a new India-France Innovation Network. The partnership is also landing firmly on Indian soil. The H-125 helicopter final assembly line has been at Vemagal in Karnataka. Defense cooperation has also been renewed, with Bell and Safran teaming up to manufacture hammer missiles in India. Officers said to be exchanged between Indian and French land forces. A joint advanced technology development group is now in place as well. Beyond defense, the focus, of course, is on the future, critical minerals and advanced materials to start up collaboration between T-Hub and Nord France. Changes to the double taxation agreement as well. The message very clear. It's about building together. President Macron summed it up bluntly. India leads global innovation, not just participates in it. He's also said France is not going anywhere. Let's have a look at these key agreements. Can we play out these key agreements? Okay, I think we're having some technical trouble there with that soundbite. But okay, we are getting more visuals now coming in. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, of course, is there along with his French counterpart. This is the key MOUs which are being exchanged by both sides. Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni, defense expert, is with us live. General Kulkarni, key MOUs pertaining to defense exchange between both sides. This, of course, happening after the defense dialogue between India and France. How significant is this for our defense ties? General Kulkarni.
Thank you. They're absolutely very, very significant, especially after Operation Sindoor and the total success that we had in Operation Sindoor, with Rafales coming in, 114 of them, with 18, of course, in fine conditions. All of them, rest of them to be manufactured in India as part of Atmanirbhar, transfer of technology. I think it's a huge thing, along with Scalp, Hammer, maybe Meteors tomorrow. So there's a range of weaponry coming, 70 kilometers, 150 kilometers, 270 kilometers, a huge amount of it. I think it's a fantastic thing. We could be asking for more. And with France, nothing like it. Besides that, I'm told there is some exchanges also likely to be with the Indian Armed Forces and also the French Land Forces. There are some agreements based on that. There are 20-odd agreements, MOUs being signed, but definitely for us, as part of defense, this is something that we look forward to. Rafales, missiles, ammunitions. Then, of course, subsequently, this is with France. Then again with the US, the P-8I, the maritime surveillance aircraft, the S-400 for Sudarshan. I think all of it, we have got to be ensuring ourselves prevention is the best form of defense. We have to be prepared at all times. We are obviously going to be very soon the third largest economy in the world, and therefore we must have adequate strength to ensure that we become the third largest. We continue to remain the third largest, and for which it's very important. And more than anything else, Atmanirbhar Bharat. To take the technology, to be able to absorb the technology. And with Rafale, nothing like it. We've seen the success of it during Operation Sindoor, and it couldn't be better. And all of it, and this kind of stand of ammunition, this kind of weapon, the missiles that it comes along with, our pilots are absolutely trained on it, and they've shown their class during Operation Sindoor. There's nothing that is lacking. And with France, and a 10-year agreement with France, I think it's wonderful. One could be asking for more. And what with President Macron and personal relationship with the Prime Minister, that is absolutely seen everywhere. And the MOUs being signed. And I think it's a very good move. Very good move. We have exercises with France. We exercise, the Air Force does exercise Garuda. We have exercise Varuna with the Navy. We have exercise Shakti with the Indian Army. So all of these kind of engagements, these kind of procurements, this kind of transfer technologies, manufacturing in India, then subsequently even helicopters to be made with Tata, the Safrans into it for manufacturing of hammer ammunition. I think super over there. Just class. We must be, everybody should look for it. It's not with a view, it's to ensure that we remain prepared at all times. We can't just get complacent. In this world where things are in turmoil, such excellent relationship with France. I think that's the need of the hour. We've got excellent relationship with Russia. We have excellent relationship with USA, with France, with the MBDA that involves UK, all of it. I think it's time everybody, and rightly said, I think you are showing they themselves are praising all the CEOs of the top notch firms are all Indians. They see that in India there is a lot to be invested in, there's a lot to be worked with, there's a lot of cooperation that can give dividend, and there's a lot that we can absorb. And that is something I think we look forward to. And definitely France, old, time-tested relationship. We've had, just see Rafale at a time when COVID was on. They just landed in India at the right time. And subsequently, of course, whoever expected Operation Sindhu to take place, but because of what Pakistan did and the success that we got because of the Rafale is something extraordinary. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Air Commodore Rana Sanjeev Mehdi Rata is also with us live, from Indian Air Force officer. At the end of the day, of course, we have enjoyed very close ties with France, but after, of course, these fresh acquisitions of Rafale and our cooperation on the Hammer missile system, Air Commodore Mehdi Rata, and now these fresh MOUs as well, do you believe India-France ties are being taken to a whole new direction post this visit?
Absolutely. In fact, if you notice, we are going into a co-production model. That was our basic thing, that we wanted a co-production model so that we can integrate, and we are looking at becoming a global supplier in a decade or plus decade. And the hammer which we are talking about, we had discussed the Rafale the other day. This is a bomb which has also got propulsion as well as the guidance. So it doesn't remain a bomb anymore, which ensures that we have a precision guidance as well as we avoid any collaterals, which is very important in today's wars. You would notice the outcome of the war is dependent on the collaterals also. So this will give us about 70 kilometers in a precision, because it has got inertial nav as well as GPS. Both are compounded, plus we can always attach infrared or laser also into it. So you'll notice that it becomes almost like a missile. And these are coming in various modes. We can have smaller ones of 125 kgs. We can go up to 1000 kgs. So you can imagine a 1000 kg kill, that too precisely, would make a lot of difference if you talk about the weapons. And we had already talked about the missiles also. So this is going to take us to international levels, and that is what we are looking at with this cooperation and making at home. Primarily, we are going to make 80 of them at home, if you notice.
Okay. Let me, in fact, quickly bring in Group Captain M.J. Augustine Vinod as well, former Indian Air Force officer, who's also joining us now live. Group Captain Vinod, how do you view India-France's cooperation in the defense sector? How crucial were these deliberations between both sides as part of this defense dialogue today? Where do you see our cooperation headed now post the finalization of this agreement, which we expect soon as well? Of course, we've seen a lot of discussions in Mumbai too, between Prime Minister Modi and President Macron, but in Delhi as well with our defense ministers meeting, a lot was finalized and ironed out.
True. In fact, probably I'm so thankful that you called me and to talk about this particular aspect, because I have operated a French aeroplane called the Mirage 2000 for most part of my life, fired French weapons like, Super 530D and Magic Matra missiles and air-to-ground weapons, laser-guided bombs, and what have you, from the 90s till, 2000s. So, France has been a long-term friend of India. Many people know the first jet aeroplane, one of the first jet aeroplanes we had, which was called the Tufani by India, was the Oregon, the French version. The Rafale that we are going to operate today is going to be 3 versions. The current version that we are operating with the Indian Air Force, and the Rafale M, which the Navy is going to operate, and the future Rafale, which is going to be the F4, F5 standards, Now, mind you, this is a Omni role fighter, the first Omni role fighter that Indian Air Force had in its inventory. Now, let's demystify. Like General Kulkarni built the foundation for the pyramid. Air Commodore Rana built the first and the second floor for the pyramid. So let me complete the pyramid by giving out certain facts so that our viewers understand what it is and how important it is. The Omni role fighter is going to entail air superiority, deep strike, precision bombing, and most importantly, the silent killer, the electronic warfare, using the electronic warfare suite called the Spectra. It is also going to be the nuclear capable, like the Mirage 2000. It has, something called an AESA radar, which can see far, and the modern radars are going to be integrated. Following, see, it is not the aeroplane. I always say this. Aeroplane is like a shopping bag. What you put in the shopping bag makes the shopping bag that much more valuable. So into that shopping bag goes many weapons like the Meteor, the Scalp, the Spectra, and the hammer that we are going to make it, in India, which is music to my ears for simple reason. Hammer is actually an acronym of HAMMER, where HA stands for highly agile, and M stands for modular, and another M, of course, is a munition. ER traditionally has stood for extended range. So the hammer is highly agile, modular munition with an extended range, like Air Commodore covered. It is going to go to 70, 80, 120 kilometers. So, like he said, I mean, he said it
Okay.
in so few words.
Okay.
It is not a bomb, actually,
Yes.
it is a rocket. So, or more like a missile with
Absolutely.
all kinds of, sensors on board.
Yes.
It is going to be cheap. We can integrate into multiple fighters, not only on Rafale, on Mirage, on Jaguar, on Tejas or
Yes.
AMCA. So it is going to be a complete
Okay.
package.
Okay.
Uday.
I want to take that to Group Captain VN Jha as well, former Joint Director of DRDO, who's also with us live on, from joint production to record buys. It's been called the mother of all defense deals. Group Captain Jha, where does that take our defense partnership to then? And why have we forged such close bonds with France? Just interpret this partnership a bit for us.
Uday, thank you very much. My job has been, very, very simplified because Group Captain Augustine has spoken a lot of things. Air Commodore has, built the platforms and actually said everything. I'm only looking from two specific point of views. One is that it's manufacturing, whether under TOT or subsequently integration of the OEM parts. That is one issue where we are on a much better platform because the TOT production here has been of many other aircrafts in the past also, but manufacturing here and then getting it certified through the varied process of the inspections, that is one thing, something new, and that new thing has already been placed, has already been put into place because we are manufacturing Tejas aircraft. So with the Tejas, procedures in place, some of the procedures of the Rafale also in place. So it's going to be much easier. I'm not saying that it is absolutely done. No, there will be, initial problems will be there, teething problems will be there, but it is going to be in place rather smoothly than otherwise. This is one area. Secondly, right from 2015 onwards, we have been wondering why only 2 squadrons of the emergency purchase. Why not follow up thereafter? Because remember, this aircraft has got about a dozen and a half India-specific modification at that time into the original OEM Rafales. So that's a great thing because any time that you introduce any modification, that is going to take time, that is going to take money, and that is what we had paid for all these India-specific modifications, which had to be engineered and then integrated and tested. So all these things having gone, it is very, very well onto the card that we must go for this aircraft. And as such, when something is happening of this order, as Rupi Augustine has already told you, that the another next version is going to have more value additions into it. So all these things coming into place, that is very, very highly desirable that it should have gone through. And coming back to the things, there something more I can see here. Now, two squadrons of the aircraft with the Indian Air Force, a squadron and a half with the Navy, the engine MRO facility already being set up here in Hyderabad. So we are looking at many of the things happening, and Safran coming into some form here into the design, maybe coordinated design with HAL, maybe GTRE that we have got in the DRDO. So all these coming into the platform to make an engine which will be the platform for the subsequent things. Right now we don't have any alternative of 404 engine that Tejas has got. Tejas Mark II and AMCA, we are looking at 414 engine, something like that. Now, if Safran enters this race, mind you, USA will be on the back foot. They will run after us to get their design, or to get their TOT, or to get their engines. Right now they have stabbed us in the back, and we from the DRDO side, I must acknowledge that we have failed the government, Indian government, or the Indian Air Force, because our Kaveri engine couldn't come with the thrust that was required for this. So all these things happening, I can see a very strong glimpse of Atmanirbhar plans in the subsequent years and the decades, wherein even our Tejas Mark 1, 1A, Mark 2, or maybe even subsequent generations, that is going to be enforced with the engine that will be our own. Whether it is co-produced or co-designed, that remains to be seen. But that once that platform is here with us, then the manufacturing of the aircraft. Right now also, go to the
Yes.
HL. You will
Yes.
see the line of the Mark 1A aircraft
Okay.
lined up, minus the engine. So we are waiting for it. If the engine had come, if USA had not stabbed us in the back, even one squadron plus aircraft would have been already in the practice, in the service.
All right.
So I'm looking at many
Okay.
other things, which is going to be a plus point here.
Absolutely. And how much is this joint production going to help our indigenous manufacturing knowledge, capability, and prowess? This is, of course, something that we're doing with the French. Will it then help us scale up so that we begin then manufacturing in India defense for the world? General Kulkarni, Lieutenant General Sanjay Kulkarni.
Yeah, Uday, absolutely right. When you start manufacturing in India, 50-50 joint production, you have Safran, you have the BEL in India to manufacture it. Definitely export thereafter. Everybody looks at that. And this is the largest order that France has ever got. And this kind of manufacturing in India, surely, and like the distinguished, all the three Air Force officers have very rightly said, the multi-aircraft, the roles that they have, and all kinds of aircraft. I think we are in for fantastic times ahead. Obviously, all we now need to ensure is be able to absorb this technology well. And we mustn't get complacent at all. We mustn't bother what anybody else does. We must absorb technology and see to it that we build on it. And this India-specific modifications are a must, because those are the ones that will help
Yes.
us to go further.
Yes.
I think Uday, we're in for good times and fantastic times. I think we must compliment. Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes at a time when AI is also the focus in India. And AI in defense is also being talked about now more than ever before. France hosted the AI summit last year, India is hosting it this year. And defense and AI now is also being talked about. Group Captain Vinod.
Uday, I've been saying this. You don't take a sword to a gunfight. It's an adage, very famous adage. Today, a brave soldier won't win the war. A brave and a smart soldier wins the war. Now, brave and a smart soldier, how does a soldier become brave and smart? He sees first, he decides first, and he shoots first. And these three aspects, Uday, are, three completely different verticals altogether. To see first, you need to have sensors which see far. To decide first, you need to, like you correctly said, AI integrated into a shortened OODA loop. And to shoot first, you need to have an arm which is longer than your enemy. So see first, decide first, shoot first makes you a smarter warrior. And now, why do we need smarter warrior? Because we have inimical elements on north of us, inimical element on west of us. So it is going to have a great strategic impact for India, both be it at high altitude in Tibet and Ladakh, be it at air bases and logistics supply facilities at Gongar, Ningchi, Pangta, and those areas. Against Pakistan today, we don't even have to cross the border. We can strike across Pakistan. That is the kind of weapon ranges we have today. We can bust many bunkers, including, where Mariam was kept. At sea, Rafale M is going to create. It's a huge thing, Uday. You need to understand, and our viewers need to understand this. We can see enemy ships first, hit and ports first, their air bases first. Pasni is very much within the Navy's range. Theretofore it was not. So the bigger picture needs to be understood very, very clearly. Rafale is just not an aeroplane. It is a combat system, a fully mature combat system. With hammer, it becomes a sovereign precision strike weapon. And I'm using my words very carefully. Sovereign precision strike weapon system. So for that, we need to be completely, thankful to the rate and the speed at which this government took decision. Such decision, other gentlemen will bear me out, would take decades, or we have seen it has taken decades in earlier times, thanks to what happened in Bofors and stuff like that.
All right.
People never used to put pen to paper ever.
All right. Last word to you, Air Commodore Mediratha. Last word. I've run out of time. I'm out of time. Air Commodore Mediratha, last word to you. 30 seconds on the road ahead.
Yeah, you spoke about the manufacturing. Bharat Electronics and Safran Electronics both are going to work on a 50-50 basis. And like Group Captain Vinod said, with these kind of weapons, we don't even have to go very close into their air defense.
Yes.
It saves us a lot of risk, because if I can shoot from 150 or 300 or 70 kilometers away, I'm safer and I'm better off. That is what he's trying to tell you, that we don't even have to cross our borders these days.
Absolutely. My thanks to all of our guests for joining us on the broadcast.